I just wrote a column for VSiN Online today, and I talked about this. It's funny you asked me to join you because I went through it. To me, the Cleveland Browns have advertised their whole front office is analytical based. Andrew Berry's an analytical guy. Paul DePodesta, their president of their team, has had no background in football at all. He's an analytical guy. Well, I don't know how you can promote analytics and say Deshaun Watson's your starting quarterback. Like, I don't know how you can say you're analytical based and then look at the numbers on Deshaun Watson and keep putting him out there under center. I don't understand how those two things go together. The guy is horrible. He's played 17 games. And what we're finding here is this is what we call sunk cost fallacy, is they won't admit they're wrong. Everybody knows they're wrong. But the numbers say they're wrong. But when the numbers benefit them and their analytical community, they use them. When it doesn't, they don't use them. So to me, they begin with the end in mind. And I think that's the bigger issue. Kevin Stefanski, this isn't about, getting away from the contract. This is about saving your franchise. The players know it. I mean, they didn't even offer a contract to Joe Flacco, who took them to the playoffs last year. Joe Flacco in 5 games threw for 1,616 yards for the Browns last year. Deshaun Watson in 6 games threw for 1,000. Like there was no comparison between the two, but yet they couldn't bring back Joe Flacco because the locker room knew Flacco was better than Watson. So this is all just a cover up, Steve, and the cover up's going to continue until it gets so bad. And I thought last week was bad, but I think it's going to get worse this week in Philly.
Would you make the move to Jameis Winston if you were with them?
If you're watching, I mean, Kevin Stefanski's smart enough. He went to he's a Penn graduate. I mean, this is a smart man. He knows I mean, anybody's better than Watson right now. I'd go with the rookie or the second year player Thompson Robinson before I go with him. Watson can't function. When you average 4.8 yards per attempt passing, you can't function. Here's a stat for you. In 5 games, Deshaun Watson has converted 12 third downs total in 5 games. 12 third downs. So when it's third and something for the Cleveland Browns, and it's only been that 12, it's been that a bunch of times. He's only been able to keep the chains moving 12 times. That's pretty sad.
What happened to him? He's a different player than he was in Houston. Obviously, a lot of stuff off the field, but
And
on the
that's what I
field,
covered it. Yeah, that's what I covered in my article. I think he's rich. I think he's rich and is guaranteed rich. There's no performance based. I wrote in my column. I think sometimes he goes to the sideline and he's got that towel over his head. He's checking his Bank of America account to make sure he's still filthy rich. He's lost his motivation. He's lost his drive. He's lost almost his pride to be great. Like I don't feel it. I don't feel passion in him. I feel like, oh man, this sucks. I got to do this because he just looks at his bank. He's guaranteed for the next 2 years.
and it's an unprecedented contract when he signed it with all that guaranteed money. How does an organization get out of that or figure that they're going to be handcuffed for a long time?
They surely are. But they're going to be handcuffed even further if they keep denying it because they're going to tear down what they have.